Hi, it's TR back with another truck camper restoration video, and today we're working on the furnace. This is a Hydroflame 7916-II or -2, and it's rated at 16,000 BTUs. The actual output capacity is around 12,000 or something like that. But what I'm doing is, in a previous video I rebuilt this. I'll link to that in the corner up here. Two things about that video. One, I referred to a kit that I got from a specific website in that video, and unfortunately they ran out of that kit, so I have put together a custom list with all the parts you need to overhaul one of these 7916s. There's a link in the video description to my Amazon store where I'll receive a small commission, but you'll pay the same price. In that video, I wasn't able to get the fan off to oil this bearing down in here that was making noise. And I want to do that today. So I got a fan hub puller. This sat in the garage here for now 2 years while I was waiting for the camper to get done. But I do have a fan hub puller now. I'm going to pull this hub off, and I'm going to oil the bearing down in here and see if we can get this to quiet down. That'll save me $70 or so on replacing this fan. I haven't even opened it. It's not even assembled. I also got this on Amazon, link in the description. Might just barely fit, but it's going to be close. I might need to get some shorter screws here. These look, they're probably metric. What do you bet me? I don't think it's going to fit. It's not. Well, fiddle faddle. Alright, so I did manage to get this off. I went to the hardware store and I went to the hardware store, got some shorter bolts, was able to pull this off. So let me grab a meter here. I want to see if it makes any difference at all when we oil this bearing on how much this is pulling. It was pulling about 3.5 amps. Now that would have been with the fan on it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to see how many amps this fan's pulling. Now watch the amp meter. The fan starts slow, it's pulling 1.5 amps. It runs like that for, well, about 7 seconds, and then it goes up to about 3.3, 3.4. In this sequence from the original repair video, I'm showing you a concept here known as inrush current. And so what happens is you turn on an electric motor and a large amount of current is required to get it moving. And so you see here in this case, it jumped all the way up to 8.98. And then it drops down to 6, and then finally 5, and then it'll fall off to 4, and then eventually it'll settle into its operating range, which is going to be somewhere around 3.4, 3.3, somewhere in that range. It's working pretty hard. Hang on. Get oil flung in my eyes. Okay, we're pulling 1.85 amps. Sounds a lot quieter than it did. Pretty noisy. Getting ready to put the furnace in. Just kind of getting all these wires out of the way. I just zip tied some wires up. I need to finish that here. Let's see if I can get in there to them. It's way deep in there. How often do you need to use a 13/16 wrench? Not very damn often, that's for sure. Okay. In we go. You having a fun time listening to me talk to myself? How's this gas line go in? Oh, it comes in on this side. Okay. And then the wires, I guess, come in on this side. Probably doesn't matter. Oh, I got this one here. Tangled up. Here we go. This yellow wire feeds to the thermostat. The thermostat works as a 12-volt switch, so it turns the power on to this unit when it calls for heat. Tough to get that started. I think I got it. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Feels good. All right, my battery's very low, so let's see if we can get this furnace to turn on. Good morning, it's a new day. I was troubleshooting the gas the other day, trying to get it set up and finished up when I put the furnace in, and I was getting no gas anywhere. So that only means one thing: either the main gas line's plugged up or the regulator's bad. The regulator is 30 years old, I'm guessing, at least, and so it's probably time it got changed anyway. I've turned the gas off here. I gotta go get a wrench to take these loose. I got a new regulator, and we'll get that put in. 10-inch crescent wrench. I'm just gonna take these loose. Remember, these are left threads, so they're bass backwards. Here's the new regulator. I believe it's a Thermo King, which are known for good propane appliances. Looks like an exact fit, except I'm gonna have to take this all apart. So I moved this hose from the old regulator to the new one here. I'm getting ready to just tighten this up at the back here fairly snugly. All right, throw those down there, that down there. Let's get this second tank. Okay, that's actually working pretty decent, except I want to move this over. Ouch. I got bit by metal. There was a sharp piece of metal on that handle. I think we're in good shape here. Okay. All right, let's do some leak testing. We'll start with this tank open. We'll just go ahead and select that tank. And I'm just coating all these fittings. I really can't see that one in the back, but get enough soapy water, just a little bit of Dawn dish soap. Any dish soap will work, and some water. I'm not seeing anything. Let me get a light. Looks okay. I don't see any. There is a little bubble there, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's gonna have to come apart. Take one of these tanks out. Let's pull this one out. I think I can turn this other tank on without this leaking. Okay, good. Now we can see what's going on back here. as that's going to get. Can't quite tell. I have my suspicions. No, I'm going to say that one's not leaking. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to take that one as it is. And that looked okay too. Let's go over here to this other compartment now. Okay, if you look in there, you can see there's a T right here. That's a major connection point, so I'm going to wet everything down in here. And look for bubbles. I don't see anything. Let's check this here. Okay. All right, let's go inside. We check this stove. Oh, I don't have any power on out here, but there's the connection there. No, I didn't break that connection loose. I don't see any bubbles. Okay, let's check the propane furnace. It's all leak tested, it's working perfectly, so thumbs up to this one. We're going to call the gas system done. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of weather strip to this door. We're headed to the dump. No, I'm not throwing in the towel. Giving up. Gonna go dump it off at the dump. We're way too far down the road for that. But what we are gonna do is gonna go get it weighed. I don't have anything in it. It's just finished. There's a little bit of water in it, 15 gallons approximately. We'll just deal with that. But I'll get a pretty accurate weight, so let's go. I got my wallet. Where's my cell phone? Uh-oh. Where's my cell phone? There it is. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Let's roll. I'd turn you around, but you're going to be looking out that way, so it doesn't matter. things to do. We're going to put out the mirrors. My backup camera is pointing way too low. So let me pull these mirrors out first. And we'll go down here to a parking lot and get the camera adjusted. I think we're all good. Okay, well, I just crossed 2 scales because I didn't believe the dump. They weighed me at 10,240. I thought that was like a lot more than I was expecting it to be. So on my way back from the dump, there's a cat scale, so I stopped at the cat scale, and I'll be damned if we didn't get the same amount. 4160 on the steer axle, 6,080 on the trailer, or on the drive axle. So I'm surprised as hell. I thought this camper weighed about 2,000 pounds. It's closer to, let's see, I think the last time I went over the scale without the camper on, it was 6,950. So let's say 7,000. That's 3,200 pounds. Wow. All right. I guess we'll see what it's like when we get it loaded up.